Okay, hello everyone. So today we'll be covering grade 4 Math CA for week 10, the last week before the finals. So let's start. Now, what is this question asking us? They're asking what is the translation of 7 multiplied by number x? So 7 is being multiplied by a number x. Now remember, a multiplication, it can be either way. It can be written x times 7 and 7 times x is going to be the same. Okay, so never get confused with multiplication. If you write it the first way, it's correct. If you write it the second way, it's correct. Let's go to the next question. Okay, just before I continue, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, you have my comment section down below, and you can always reach out to me on my email. Let's do this. And you can also have private sessions and group sessions. Of course, group sessions are a bit cheaper, so you can always, reach out to me. So which of the following gives algebraic expressions for the phrase the quotient of a number p and 20? Now remember, whenever you have quotient, you know that is division. Division, right? A number p and 20. When they write a number p and 20, p will come first. So it will be p and 20, like this. If they said the quotient of a number 20 and p, you write it the opposite way. Okay, so keep this in mind. We will be going with the first option, p and 20. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now here what are they asking for? They're asking us, which of the following gives algebraic expressions for the phrase 9 more than the number b? Now it's the same thing that you have done with multiplication, is the same thing with addition. You can write it b plus 9. In this case, you write b plus 9. Okay, so 9 more than number b, so it will be b plus 9. Okay, if they're not added anything additional, you can also write it 9 plus b. But sometimes you can add something additional into this, which can tell you, which can indicate which one are you supposed to write. So in this case, just remember, you're supposed to write 9 more than a number b. You write it like this, b plus 9. Okay? Which of the following is algebraic expression for the phrase 10 less than the number c? Now, for subtraction, you can write it either like this or like this. Okay? So what will we do here? They said now we have to understand what are they saying. 10 less than a number c. So c and subtracting from it 10. Because what are they saying in the question? 10 less than. So they're subtracting from c 10. Okay, understand it this way. So if they had said 10, c less than 10, then we'll be subtracting 10 minus c. Okay, c less than 10, we will be subtracting like this. But we're saying 10 less than a number c. So we're putting c is a larger number than 10. So that's why we put c first. The second thing, which of the following gives the algebraic expressions a number y doubled? Now remember, if you double, like if you see, maybe this is in your head, it comes that maybe it's addition. So if it's addition, you'll say 4 plus 2. You're saying it like this. But this is not doubling. What does double mean? Double means the same number written or added twice. This is doubled. And this can only happen in multiplication. So 2 times y, this. Okay? Not this, not 4 plus 2. Because this is not going to double the number, it's just going to add 2. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following algebraic expression for the phrase an amount m shared equally among 8 groups? So now they're dividing. Now remember, m can be anything. It can be a piece of chocolate, it can be gifts, it can be, so there is a number of maybe like m gifts that being divided into 8 parts. It's being shared equally. What does shared equally mean? It means division. When you divide something equally among like a group of people or a group of students, you're going to divide it. Now we're just going to start with division. So 4 divided by 20.4. I know a lot of my students, they ask this question often. How are they supposed to solve these kind of questions? So now let's do this. So we know that 4 times 5 gives us what? So 4 times 5 is 20, right? So we have 20 exactly in the multiplication of 4. We can use that here. So 5 will go up, 4, now 20 will go at the bottom. So you will do subtraction here, 0. And then you put the decimal point up. Now if you bring the 2 down, right? If you bring the 2 down alone, 2 is too small for any multiplication that's found in the multiplication of 4. So we cannot use only 2. So what do we have to do? We have to also bring 4 down. But before you bring the 4 down, don't forget, if you're bringing 2 numbers down at the same time, you need to put a 0 above. And then you bring the 4 down as well. Now let's continue. So 4 times 6 is 24. There you go. We didn't have to do a longer multiplication. We found it very near it. Like this, 5106 is your answer in this one. The next one, let's go to the next one. Here, the area of a rectangular plane figure with width 9 centimeters and 10 centimeters is. So the area is what? The area is length times width. Remember, for a rectangular plane and for a rectangle, the area is 9 length times width. What is the length here? It's 10. What is the width here? That's 9. So 10 times 9. Now the area of a square. Now remember, what is the area of a square? S square. Why do we say S square? Because all of the sides of a square, if I'm making the square right, are equal. So it will be 9 here, 9 here, 9 here, and then 9 here. So it's going to be all equal. So what is the formula? S square, just 9 to the power of 2. Because all the sides are equal. Keep this in mind, will help you later on as well. So 81. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here, whenever you have a volume, remember you're supposed to do, so here it's a right rectangular prism, is made up of cubes with no gaps or overlaps. Each cube has an edge length of 1 centimeter shown. What is the volume of this prism? Now remember, whenever you're supposed to calculate the volume, it's length times width times height, right? So now, what is that? This is your height, this is your length, and this is your width, right? So now what do? This is your length and this is your width. So now what do we do here is that we will count the number of cubes they have in the height, we'll count the number of cubes in the length, and we'll count the number of cubes in the width. Okay, we have to count the number of cubes in each one of them. Now the height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can write 5 and usually do it like this. It will be easy for you to find where exactly is your height, length, and width. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay. 1 second. So then you're going to be happen. When we're doing these kind of questions, also keep in mind the formula. So what is the formula here? The formula is height times length times width. So this part is going to be your length, right? We're going to count that. This is going to be your width, and this is going to be the standing part. It's going to be your height. So the height was what? It's 5. This part is 3, and the other part is also 3. Okay, so this was 5. Now let's color it with another color, pink. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then again that's the length, and also on the side, what is going to be? Width. So 1, 2, 3. So this is 3 and 3. So you multiply them. 5 times 3 times 3. What is that? 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. Now let's go on this one. Now remember, I know a lot of people also get confused in this. So let's just understand this. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, you have the comment section below, you have my email, and if you want to book a private session, there's also the email. My number is also mentioned in some of the comments below. So let's check. So we have, how many cubes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We have 4 cubes. Now how many rows of these 4 cubes do we have? So this is 1, this is 2, and the 1 is at the back, 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, 7, and 8. This is 6, 7, and 8. So you have 8 rows, and all of them had 4 cubes in them, right? So that is your volume. That's how you calculate the volume. You can just count the cubes. So either you can count the cubes and you will get confused. What you can do is you can count the number of rows you have, and how many cubes does each row have. So we know that each row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows. Sorry, 4 cubes. And how many rows does it have? 8. So there are 8 rows with 4 cubes. So you just multiply them and you'll get 32. Okay, 8 times 4 is 32. Let's go to the next one. Okay, if you need any more explanation for this question, please reach out to me in the comment section below, because I know some people struggle with it more. So what is the volume of a rectangular prism of length 11 centimeters, width 20 and height 10? Again, you'll do the same thing. 11 times 20 times 10. What does that give you now? So 11 times 20 times 10. When you multiply 11 times 20, you get 220. And then multiplied by 10, you'll get 2200. Now, what is the volume of a cube with side length 5 centimeters? So what is the volume of a cube with a side length 5 centimeters? Now remember, a cube is also length times width times height, right? But, okay, let me draw it out for you. Let's understand what a cube is by a drawing. If I can draw it perfectly, just give me 1 second. So a cube, you know that it will have all the sides will be the same. So it will be like this. It will be like this, like this. They will be like this. And you can join it together, right? You can join the cube together. Now you have the S side here, the S side on this side, the one that's standing, and then the S side on this side, the one that's flat again. So this is the same thing as length, width, and height. But why do we say S times S times S? Because all of the sides are equal. So we can just denote it as S, S, S. So it will be 5 times 5 times 5. Now 5 times 5 times 5 will give you 125. You can first multiply by 5 times 5 will give you 25, then 25 times 5. So when you do 25 times 5, you'll get 125. You can multiply this. 5 times 5 is 25, sorry. You put the 5 at the bottom, 2 at the top, 12, 13, 10, 11, 12, 125. There you go. Again, please don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comment section below. Okay, now here, don't get confused. I know a lot of people, they get worried about the word problems, but we will do it one by one. So what happens here, first of all, what is k minus 39? Or k, let's start with k divided by 39. Now, k divided by 39 is straightforward. You only have one answer here with quotient written in it, and it's a number k and 39. What did I mention previously? Whenever you have a number k and 39, you will be writing k first and then 39. Okay, the next one is k plus 39. What is that? 39 more than a number k. What is more than? More than, we know that it's plus. So I'll put that here. 39 times k, that's multiply. 39 by number k. K minus 39. K minus 39, what is that going to be? K minus 39 is 39 less than a number k. Now, why are we saying that? Now, look, you have them right clearly above each other. Now, which one to choose when? Let's study that. So, k minus 39, what will we choose? 39 less than k. So, what is that? 39 is less than k. Keep that in mind. If it's less than k, so it means it's going to be smaller than k. If it's smaller than k, it will always come as a second number, because the smaller numbers in subtraction, in minus, always come as second. The bigger numbers are always first. Keep that in mind, okay? And then the next thing, let's put that as the answer. K minus 39 is 39 less than a number k. And then 39 is decreased by a number k. Now what is that? 39 is being lowered, is being reduced. Okay, it's being smaller by a number k. So we'll subtract that, 39 minus k. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now here, 59 divided by 10. Remember, you always take the decimal point inside. So you'll always take the decimal point inside. 1 inside, 5.9. The next one, 8.892 divided by 100. So 1, 2, 8.92. The next one, divide by 1000. Remember, you need to count the number of zeros you have, and that's how many times you move the decimal point inwards. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 7.215. 7.215. Remember, whenever it's divided by 100, 1000, and 10, you need to count the number of zeros there are, and then you just move the decimal point inside the number of zeros that they're dividing by. So 42.1 divided by 5. This is very quick. You can just start dividing. Let's divide. So it's going to be 42.1. Now you know you can write the multiplication on the side. 5 times, let's start with 5. That's 25. Let's jump because this some number is very small. So 5 times 7 is 35. And we're close by now. So 5 times 8. Let's make a smaller jump. 5 times 8 is 40, which is 8 up and 40 at the bottom. 0, 2 at the bottom. Point, you put it up, and then you put the 1 down. Remember, don't forget. You need to put the decimal point up first, and then you bring the 1 down. Because decimal point is like a barrier, it's like a wall. You cannot use the 1 unless you put it up. And then what is 21? Now it's 5 times 5 is 25. So let's go a number back. So find a smaller multiplication. So 5 times 4 is 20. There you go, you found the answer. 20, so we put a 4 above 20. And then we subtract here, we get 1. And then again, we have now 1 is too small for 5. Even 5 times 1 gives you 5. So there is no number that is smaller or equals to 1 in the multiplication of 5. So what do? We add a 0 here. Okay, and 5 times 2 is 10. So we just put a 2 there, and there you go, you get the answer, 8.42. 8.42. Now you do the same thing with 12. So 12, 3, 6.6. You write the multiplication down for 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. There you go, we got the answer. 12 times 3 is 36. When you get the answer as 36, you'll put 3 above, you'll put 36 at the bottom, and then you'll subtract 0. Now, you know the decimal again, I said you have to put it up to use the 6. So you put the decimal up, you put the 6 down, bring it down. Now, when you add a 0 here, you need to add a 0 above as well. Remember, whenever you're bringing a number down from the main numbers, because these are the main numbers, okay, I'll just circle them for you. These are the main numbers. If you bring them down and they're too small, you can't find this number in the multiplication of 12. When you add a 0, you need to add a 0 above as well. Okay, you only know this during practice, so keep practicing and you'll find out. So 12 times 5 is 60, and we just put the number here, 60, and we subtract them, 0. We get 3.05. 3.05. Okay, now in this one, when the numbers are being repeated, okay, where do we exactly have to put the line? So here, what will we do? Let's start. So 957.7. So we know that 9 times 6 gives us 56. So we'll just put that here. 56, we subtract, we get 1 here. We put the decimal point up, we bring the 7 down. Now we know that again, 9 times, sorry, this is 54, my bad. Not 56, 54. 54. Now, that's 37. It's going to be 37. So we know that 37, what is the closest number in the multiplication of 9? That's the closest number, or either it's equals to or closest to but less than this number. So we can subtract, that will be 36. So that's 4, right? So 36. When we subtract again, we get 1, right? Now let me zoom out a bit so we can continue solving. Okay, let's just continue solving here. So we have 1. Now 1, you can add a 0 without adding a 0 at the top. Why? Because how did you get that 1? You got that 1 by subtracting these two, not by dropping a number from here. And it's too small to find a multiplication of it, a 9. So here you can add a 0 without adding a 0 from the top. So here it's 10. Okay, I wrote this one. I'm just continuing from the bottom here. Okay, 10. Now we know that 9 itself is a number that's small enough to be put under 10. So that's going to give you 1 again. We can put another 0, 10, and we're going to get 9 again. So what is being repeated over and over again? That's going to be a 1. So you'll just put a line above the 1. Okay, so not anything else, not for 1, just 1, because 1 is being repeated over and over again. Now let's do another one. So the question now is 1170.53. Now what are we going to do here again? 6. We're going to start with 6 because 11 times 6. Always try to write the multiplication on the side. But if you're really good at it, you can just continue solving. So it's going to be 66. Alright, the number just repeats itself when it's multiplied by 11. So 6 and 6. So we're going to write 66 here. We're going to subtract and we get 7 minus, okay. So 6 here, 10 will become 0 will become 10. This will become 4, 0, and then we'll put the decimal point up. The 5 will go at the bottom. Now what is that? 4. What is that? 44. Right? Because we know that 11 times 4 is 44. That's smaller than this. We're going to get 1 and 1, right? So 45 minus 44, we got, sorry, just a minute. Bring the 45 down. Yeah. So here, what are we going to get then? 1, right? So it's going to be 5 minus 4. This is going to be 0, and then it's going to be 1, and then we're going to bring the 3 down. Sorry, my bad. 3 down, so 13. Now, when we have the 13, what are we going to do next? We know 13, the closest number to it is only 11, so itself, so 1. So we put the 11 down. Let's continue here. So 13 minus 11, it's going to be 3 minus 1 is 2, and then 0 here. And then we can add as many zeros as we want without adding anything at the top. Why? Because we got this number in result of subtracting two numbers, not dropping anything from above. So again, if you don't understand, ask me in the comment section below. I can explain it more. So 20, again, what we'll be using? We'll be using, just a minute. We'll be using 1 again. Right? So we get 11. And what did we get here? 11 minus 20 is? You're getting 90. Sorry, my bad. 20 minus 11 is, just give me 1 second. Is 9. So you're just going to put 9 at the bottom, and then again you can add another 0 without adding any other 0 at the top. Now what are you going to use? 8. Okay, so 8 here, it will be 88. You'll get 2 again. Right, 90 minus 88 is what? It's 2 again. And then what are you going to use? It's going to be a 0 here. You're going to put 1 up again for 11. And then what are you going to get? Are we going to get 90 again? So it's going to repeating. You know what pattern is being repeated over and over again? That's your 18. So this one, this pattern. So you'll put the line above 18. So 6, 4, 1, 1, 8. This one. Right? So 6, 4, 4, 1, 1, 8. So this is going to be your answer for this one. So let me just check if I'm doing it right, because I can sometimes make mistakes over this. So there, we can go to the next one now. In this one, it's easy. You just have to move the decimal point. So now it's 81.3, right? Like I mentioned previously as well, whenever you're dividing by any number, like dividing by the multiples of 10. What do I mean multiples of 10? By numbers of 10s. Let's say that would be a better description. Numbers of 10. So 10, 100, you're dividing by these. 10, 100, or thousands. You're only supposed to move the decimal point, the number of zeros you have. So here, initially, our decimal point was here, right? It's here. Now they divide by 10. How many zeros do we have? We only have 1 0. So we'll move it inwards once. So 8.13. 8.13. And then the next one, the last one is what? Again, we'll put 81.3. And we're going to divide it like this is 10 to the power of 3. That means that there's going to be 3 zeros. So 1 and 3 zeros. The 3 above is indicating the number of zeros you have. The decimal point is here. We're going to move it inwards 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So 0.0. So it's going to be 0.0. Just 1 minute, let me write it. 0.0. 813. 813. The next one is the same thing you're going to do over and over again. 6.3. 6.3. There is divided by 10. There is 1 0 only. So you're just going to move the decimal point inwards once. 0.63. The next one is the same thing you'll do again. How many zeros there are? There are 2 zeros, right? There are 10 to the power of 2, so 2 zeros. You're going to move the decimal inwards twice. So it's going to be 0.063. The next one, this one will be 9. And then the last one will be 0.9. Let's go to the next one. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. So now 5.76. Okay, now 5 is too small for you to like, it's not in the multiplication of 8. It's too small to find the multiplication of 8, so we're just going to put 0 point. Now what is 5 and 7? So 5 and 7, we know it will be 7 because 8 times 7 is 56. So 57 minus 56 is 1. Okay, you bring down the 6, and what is that? 8 times 2 is 16, so you put the answer 0.72. That was quick. And the more your multiplication is strong, the more it will be easy for you to actually do these questions. And here you're just going to divide 6 divided by 370. I'll just do the first one. The second one you can do by yourself for practice. So 6 times 6 is 36. So we're going to put 6 above. 6 above, and then 36 at the bottom. You're going to subtract. You're going to get 1 and then 0 at the bottom. Again, we know that the only multiplication that is in the multiplication table that is less than 10 is going to be 6 times 1, which is 6. So we put 1 up, we put 6 at the bottom, and we subtract. We get 4. Then we put the decimal point up and we bring the 2 down, right? Because the decimal point, without removing it, you can't use the 2. So you can do this. 6 times 7 is 42. 61.7 is your answer in this one. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one you can do it by yourself for practice. 61.7. Okay, and here is the same thing. Now, what is the easiest thing is that, don't get confused on this. They've already given you the answer, and this, they're just adding a 0. Remember, the 0 that they added, you move the decimal point inwards once. Like I said, the number of zeros matter. How many points, how many times you're going to move the decimal inwards. Now, let's check for this one. 500, right? The decimal point is here. How many zeros do we have? 2. So 1, 2. It's going to move inwards twice. So what is going to be the answer? 69. Sorry, the answer is going to be, 1 minute, my bad, not for this one. Let's write, what is the answer? 1, 2 in here, 13.84. So we're going to move the decimal on the 13.84 on the answer. Then the next one is what? What is your answer here? Again, the same, 1384. But there are 3 zeros. 3 zeros, so you're going to move the decimal point inwards 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1.384. 0.384. Let's do this one now. How do we exactly do it? Okay, now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to divide 1123 by 90. So when you divide that by 90, what are you going to get? You're going to get what are you going to get? You're going to get 12.48. So remember, whenever you divide it, you can initially, what you can do is you can divide 1123 by 1123, divide by 2, divide by 9 directly. Okay? And worry about the zeros later on. So when you divide this by 9, what do you get? Just a minute. 1123.2. Let's do it together. So what are we going to do? So 9 times, okay, so 9 times, what is the smallest number? Let's just take the first 2 digits. So 11, so 9 times 1. So we'll just put 1 above and start. 1 above, so it's going to be 9. Now 11 minus 9, 2, right? Bring the other 2 down as well, continue. Now what is it? 2. We know 9 times 2 is 18. So we bring the 18 down. How do we solve this? It's going to be 4, right? 22 minus 18 is 4. Now you bring the 3 down as well. It's going to be 43, right? So what do we do next? We know that 9 times 4 is 36, and that's the only number that's smaller than 43 in the multiplication of 9. So we subtract again. What do we get? 43 minus 36. Just a minute. 43 minus 36 is 7. Right? 7. And then we put the decimal point up because we still have the decimal point. So we bring the 2 down, and what do we get? 9 times 8, which gives you 72. Now I divided only by 9. Okay, so I got 124.8. But what did they divide by in the first one? They divided by 90. So when you divide by 90, you already got the answer. Your answer is already there. You got the answer already, right? 1248. What are you supposed to do? Because I divided by 9, I got 124.8. Now what do? When they divide by 90, you just move the decimal point inward once in here. So 12.48. The same thing you do with the rest, 12.48. The next one, you do the same thing. 12, right? What was our answer initially? 124.8, right? When divided by 9. Now they added 2 zeros, so we move it inwards twice. 1, 2. So 1.248. 1.248. The next, again, you're going to divide that by 3 zeros. You're going to move the decimal, by 3 zeros. So it will be 1248, 4.8. It's supposed to be here when you divide by 9. But now you're going to move it inwards 1, 2, 3. 0.1248. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now what is the quotient when you divide? This is easy. You can do this on your time. It's not something different, right? So 12.83 is the answer for this one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one as well, you're just supposed to solve it. It's not something special. You're just going to add the decimal point. If you want anything, you want to learn on any of these questions, just tell me. I'll make a separate video. But it's becoming very lengthy, so I just wanted to finish. 4.5 for this one. 4.5. It's a bit being a bit long, so I just want to get to the questions that are a bit difficult. So in here, I know a lot of people struggle with this as well. Now remember, the outside number will be at the bottom, 3.15. And above it will be 14.49. Now, whenever you have anything like this, what do you do first? You always try to remove the decimal point of the number below. You decide what number you're going to multiply by the number below. Now, if you want to move the decimal point outwards, that's also decided by the number of zeros. So 0, 0, you're going to move it outwards, 1, 2. So, and you also multiply whatever you multiply below, you multiply above as well. You get 1, 4, 4, 9, and then you divide it by 315. Now you can just start multiplying. What you get initially, what do you get initially is 4. So you can multiply here by 4 or by 3. Let's try by 4 first. So 5 times 4 is 20. Put the 0 here to above. 6. And then 4 times 3 is 12. So 1260 is the first one. You put the 4 above, you get 1260. You subtract them, what do you get? Minus 1890. Okay, 1890. Now let's check if we have this number in the multiplication of 315. So 315, let's check by 6. Let's try a bigger number. Let's take a leap. So what is that going to be? 6 times 5 is 30. Put the 0 here, 3 up, 9, and 18. There you go, you found it. So 1890. So for the next one, you can do it by yourself. For practice, if you don't understand, you can always reach out to me. So 4.6. The last question for this is this one. So here, they're saying triple 19. So what is triple 19? 3 times 19. Okay, they didn't say anything. They didn't say multiply. They didn't say any times. They just said triple 19. So we need to understand that's 3 times 19. Add 12 to the result. They already made the sign for you 12. So you're just supposed to add 12 here. Add 17 and 4. So 17 and 4, right? They said add these two numbers. They put the sign for you already in between. And then divide by the sum by 7. So you divide here by 7. The last one is the quotient of 20 and 5 is subtracted from 36. So the quotient of what? 20 and 5. Remember, whatever is written first, you need to write the number in the first part. 20 divided by 5 and then subtracted by 36. Okay, so thank you for your time. I know it's a bit long, but this was a good practice. Study for it, you'll prepare for your finals as well if you do well in this. So take care of yourself. If you have any questions, tell me, and please don't forget to subscribe.